Good morning, fifth graders. Let me adjust my picture. Welcome to week 4. I hope you're doing well. First things first, the weather is getting really warm and nice, and we would be going out onto the playground for recorder kung fu, earning belts and beads if we were in school. And I want to provide that opportunity to all of my fifth graders, even if your recorder is trapped in my classroom, which it is. So this is not going to be required. I'm going to put a link in your assignment today to an inexpensive recorder that maybe you or a parent, excuse me, maybe it will be like less than $5. Maybe you have that. Maybe one of your parents is willing to order that for you. It's not required. It's not part of your assignment. But I'm going to make available to you in the next week the songs and the packets for Recorder Kung Fu so that you can earn more belts and beads during this time period. And I'll talk more about that in next week's lesson. Okay. In the meantime, just check out this link in this recorder, and it's not required, but if you're interested and your parents are okay with it, you can order this recorder and have one at home. All right. Now I'm going to move on to this week's actual assignment, and it's a continuation of last week's assignment. So I just want to stop everybody for a second. And I have heard from Ms. Grundy and Mr. Ormsby that not all of the families in Haddon Heights have really understood where the special assignments are. Some of them didn't know that they were supposed to be doing them. And I realize that some of you might be looking at this lesson, and it's the first lesson that you've seen. It's week 4. So there are 3 other lessons that you've missed. And if you're one of those people, don't worry about it, okay? But you can't do today's assignment without going back and doing last week's assignment. And what I would suggest is over the next 2 weeks, like for fun, go back and do the assignments up until now. Like, do not do today's assignment if you haven't done the ones that came before it, okay? Go back in Google Classroom and you'll see in the music category the 4 weeks, week 1, week 2, week 3, and week 4, okay? So if you haven't done those assignments, pause this video right now, go back and start on week 1, or you could start on week 3 and then do week 4. That would work too. So now I'm only talking to people that did week 3. This is the continuation. So last week in Hooked on Classics, in the rhythm reading part, you practiced the drum rhythm and the woodblock rhythm. And then you took the Ed puzzle, all right? And believe it or not, there were actually some people who got an A, and even one person who got 100 on their first try. But I don't really know how they did that. But what we want to do this week is we want to go on to practicing the next 2 rhythms. So that would be it says right here, that would be the shaker and then the tambourine part. You're going to practice each of one of those. So that's going through it 2 times, practicing those parts. And I put a note in there. If this is really easy for you, you could try playing the shaker with your left hand and the tambourine part with your right hand, reading 2 lines at the same time. It's possible. And that would certainly challenge anyone. And then after you've gone through Hooked on Classics reading 2 times, then go and click on the Edpuzzle link and take that quiz for a second time, trying to beat your last score. And the only person who can't beat last week's score is the person who got 100. They could only tie their last week's score. So that's it for 5th grade. And then I put a movement activity at the bottom because you guys got to keep moving. And it's really fun if you haven't done it yet. It has nothing to do with Recorder Kung Fu, but it's a Kung Fu song moving and reading activity. Okay. All right, guys. I miss you. Have a wonderful day, and have a great spring break. And I will be in touch with you soon. Take care.